Thank you, judges, for your remarks. And I would now like to call upon our current prosecutor, Mr. Serge Brammertz.
Your Majesty, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues, much has already been said today about the challenges and successes at the ICTY over the last 20 years. And yes, we have succeeded in turning the Security Council's aspirations in Resolution 827 into a living, breathing institution that has set enduring precedents. And yes, we have succeeded against all the odds in bringing all of the ICTY's indicted persons to justice. And yes, we have succeeded in starting a powerful momentum behind the principle of international justice that will not be easily broken. While we can be proud of the ICTY's past achievements, we should also remember that, for many, the events of 20 years ago seem like they happened yesterday. I'm thinking especially of the thousands who survived crimes committed during the conflicts in the former Yugoslavia. Over the last years, I've spent many hours discussing with survivors and groups of survivors. For them, the crimes they lived through and the crimes that took away their loved ones are ever present. For the mother, whose young son was taken from her arms in Srebrenica, for the prisoners abused in Celebici camp, and for the girls in Foča who were gang raped and sold into slavery. For them, and so many others, 20 years might as well be 20 days. Their pain, their suffering, their loss remains a daily reality, and I hope that they will be foremost in our thoughts today. Over the past 20 years, our cases have not only ensured individual accountability, but have also set down a record of events that will be an important barrier to revisionism in the years to come. We see warning signs of revisionism in the public statements of some politicians in the countries of the former Yugoslavia who still, even today, glorify or deny war crimes. Some going so far as to refute the existence of genocide in Srebrenica. These comments give us cause for concern and at the same time highlight the essential role of international justice. We must also remember that some of our most important cases are still ongoing. We have to remain focused on our work, and we ask you, the international community, to also remain interested and engaged in our work, alongside the many other pressing international justice issues that demand attention in today's world. But one very clear lesson learned from our experience at the ICTY is that while prosecutions alone are not enough, they are an essential precondition for redress and reconciliation. It has been and remains a great privilege for me to serve as ICTY prosecutor. In January 2008, I took over a fully functional office filled with staff members whose expertise and dedication to the ICTY's mandate is extraordinary. These staff members deserve our recognition, and I hope the international community will see what a tremendous resource they are for future international justice initiatives. I'm very pleased to have the opportunity to thank the Netherlands for their support. It has been already mentioned on a number of occasions. Without your support, it would have been very, very difficult. And some of my colleagues already asked me if my tie today was an expression of support to the Netherlands. Probably it is. I will leave it to others to thank the Netherlands for the support in our daily work. For my part, I would like to highlight one specific aspect where the Netherlands, and this has already been said, played a major role in making sure that the arrest of the fugitives stayed very high on the European political agenda. And the policy of making EU membership conditional on full cooperation with the ICTY shows also that international justice has greater chances of prevailing when there is a firm political support and positive incentives for cooperation. To conclude, people often ask me whether I believe the ICTY has been a success. I think that's a question that has to be answered by others and at a later stage when all the trials are over. But I can say that, in my view, to be a success, we will have to ensure an effective transition from the ICTY to national prosecutions in the former Yugoslavia for the many war crimes that remain. In Bosnia and Herzegovina alone, hundreds of cases involving more than 2,500 alleged perpetrators must still be investigated and prosecuted. Without extra efforts at the national and international level, these cases will languish. Together, we must make sure that the many thousands of victims of these crimes get the redress they deserve and that justice demands. Thank you very much.